So we're looking right here at the camera. And guys, we're live. So, hello Facebook. Today is September 12th. I'm here with Galen.
Hi guys.
And I'm here with Michelle Caldwell.
Yes.
Caldwell. And we're at the Shriners Hospital for Children in Cincinnati. So the Shriners Hospitals for Children in Cincinnati, actually, Michelle, you're probably going to be better at that. Can you tell me exactly what you guys do here?
Sure, absolutely. We've been here for about 50 years, and we are experts in burn care, small and large, as well as anything that follows. So once a burn is covered, it still takes a lot if a child's younger, especially as they grow. There's continued care that needs to happen to be sure that your scarring is as good as it can get, and the functionality.
Absolutely.
And we also do pediatric plastic surgery, which is something a lot of people don't realize. We specialize in cleft lip and palate, which again is not something that's one and done. It is a lifetime to where the child is grown. We'll have to have many surgeries, so we have a team that's designated to just doing that. We also do any type of pediatric plastic surgery that likely isn't covered by insurance, unfortunately, like deformities on ears. We also do dog bites, wound care, any kind of road rash. I mean, honestly, the list goes on and on. Lasers for birthmarks.
Okay. Now, one of the things that I think is cool, one of the things that we realized, Galen and I joined the Masons a little over a year or two ago, October 11th of 2014, I actually remember the date. And we joined the Freemasons. We decided that we wanted to be Shriners. And Shriners, now everyone asks us, oh, so you guys are Shriners, and they typically think that we're the guys with the funny hats who drive the little funny cars. And that's not all they do. So it was actually news to us. Galen, I mean, have you ever heard anybody else ask anything other than that?
No, most people reference the cars and parades because that's what we grew up with childhood, throwing candy and things like that. But when we became Roadrunners, we're actually the adult drivers that are driving the patients from their house to whatever facility, and today just happened to be Cincinnati.
Yeah.
It's our first time here.
So, thank you. We wanted to do something charitable a couple years ago, and we decided that we wanted to join the Masons. And inside of the Masons, there's so many different avenues that you can go, and the Shriners is one of them. And in the Shrine, it's all about, I mean, there's a ton of things that it's about. We probably don't understand most of it, but the whole point is that they started the Shriners Hospitals for Children.
Well, you actually know the story.
Yes,
yes.
I do. So the Shriners are a philanthropy. I mean, that's what they were started for. And in the 1920s, they realized that there was a huge gap for children, and children is really where they wanted to put their focus. And the polio epidemic was going on then. So in 1922, they built their first hospital for children, and it focused on polio and orthopedics. And that was in Shreveport, as I mentioned. Today we have 22 hospitals.
See you guys.
Nice to
See you
meet you
guys.
guys.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Yep.
Today we have 22 hospitals, and one that includes one in Mexico and one in Canada. But there are only 4 that actually focus on burn care. So that's Boston, Cincinnati, Northern California, and Galveston. And there's maybe 10 hospitals that actually do plastic surgery, pediatric plastic surgery, and the rest of them are all orthopedic.
That's crazy. So it's I can't believe of the amount of hospitals and how big Shriners is that I didn't know about. It's like to find out one day that there's buses and buses exist. That's how much Shriners is and how huge it is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we wanted to do today's episode of our 2 Cents Life here at the Shriners Hospital. So it's all about philanthropy and taking care of kids, right? So typically Galen and I will drive. By the way, guys, I'm not just like playing with my cell phone while we sit here. I'm also controlling the camera and multitasking. But so we're talking about Shriners and doing Shriners Hospital, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's probably one of the biggest charities that we've worked with in the past, and we've done how many trips now?
I think this is our 6th. We usually go to Erie. Erie, of course, we're from Indiana, Pennsylvania, which is close to Pittsburgh, so we're with the Syria Shrine in Pittsburgh, PA. So we're used to driving to Erie, but this trip came up, so I wanted to see what Cincinnati was like. What I find fascinating about all the hospitals is the amount of care and how happy everybody is when you come in.
Yeah.
And it's a nice environment to work in, I'm sure.
It is, and it's surprising. It surprises people because when I tell them I work here, everybody goes, "Oh wow," and then they're like, "Oh, isn't that hard for what you might have to see?" And for me, it's not. I'm not a clinical person. I'm in marketing and public relations, so when I get to talk to a family, it is the best experience ever because they have gone through something and now they're on the mend.
Yeah.
And whether it's something, well, just recently we had someone come from Jamaica. Her daughter was not doing well there. They didn't have the resources. She came here. She called several different places and ended up here. And she said it was a whole different, just a whole different scenario. They got here like 3 o'clock in the morning. She was like, the team just came in and it was almost like they did a dance. And they told her everything that was going to happen. They immediately took care of her daughter. They immediately took care of her. After a couple days of being here, she said the nurses were like, please leave the hospital for a little while. Go do something for you. Sydney's going to be in, surgery for a while. So it's time for you to take care of you. And that's one of the things that people don't realize. I mean, we have psychiatrists on staff. The team really does have a full circle of family-centered care, which I've never seen anything like it.
Now, they basically hear so can you tell me, how does it work as far as donations and stuff like that? Like, you guys are off of donations and...
Yes, so the Shrine's always gone off donations, and it wasn't until 2010 that they do take insurance now. When the market crashed in 2008, they realized the endowment that they were living off of, that people were donating to, would be gone by 2030.
Okay.
And this may be too much detail.
No,
No,
it's funny because we kind of know the same. It's kind of like the same thing in Masons. Masons are dwindling down because they're all in their 70s.
Everybody's aging out.
Right,
Yeah.
and the same with the Shriners. I mean,
Yeah.
there aren't as many of them anymore, so they realized that they weren't going to survive. And obviously they didn't want that to happen, so they did decide to go with a revenue stream. But the revenue stream doesn't stop them from doing all the things that insurance doesn't pay for. And that's what's so important. So we always say we will take any family regardless of their ability to pay. If you don't have insurance, it doesn't matter. If your insurance is denied, it doesn't matter. We'll still do whatever you need. If your insurance is accepted, then then you will get a copay, but we can also help with that.
Okay. So I know a lot of you guys, now a lot of the people that watch our videos, a lot of you are in Pittsburgh. Everyone knows 28. Everyone knows where the Shriner Center is. It's on 28. You see it in between the Mills Mall and like Harmerville, and it's on the right-hand side, and it says Syria Shrine, huge, and everyone always wonders what it is. And that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
So, Galen,
I have a couple questions. I mean, what is the average length of time? I know it's hard because every burn would be
No,
different,
actually,
of course.
I can answer
Oh, you
that.
can?
Yep.
Okay. What's the average stay or the trips a person comes? Like, I know we came out, we drove somebody that's been here before. It's the first time that they've had a driver, but I don't think it's their first time here. So what's the
Oh, okay.
time range?
That does depend on the size of the burn and how deep the burn is. So there's 3 basic stages of burns, which most people know, and you've had a first-degree burn, which is a sunburn. Second degree needs to be watched very closely and cared for, but may not require surgery. If you have a third-degree burn or more, you are absolutely having surgery, and you will spend some time in the hospital. Even if it's a small one, you're going to have that medical care. But on average, which these are fun facts for everyone, so when I'm holding up my hand, because the size of each of our hands for your body, and this is even if you were a child, this would be 1% burn.
oh,
So
okay.
that's how they calculate. If you hear someone say, and they usually say total body surface, if it's 15%, that's like 15 palms on your body. So if you think a little baby, it works the same way. It's their size palm. And for every day, if it's a third-degree burn, for every percent, you're likely going to spend at least a day in the hospital. Now, the care that comes after really depends on how well you do, how well your scars. Everybody scars differently, so it really, really depends on how long you have to wear garments. Every person will have to wear garments. If they don't, otherwise the scars won't stay flat and won't keep them from contracting, because that's what scars normally do. And when you're on a smaller child or even anyone that's just not an adult, that's going to continue to happen. So you may have to come back and have releases done to let the tension out. It can vary. A lot of times with the neck, you'll see that the scars get thick and start to pull down, so you've got no function in your neck and you can't lift it back. The same can happen with the eyes. So if you're burned on your face, most likely we're going to put you in a face mask. Sometimes even if it's second-degree burns too. But on the third degree, you definitely are looking at that. So it's not just something where I can treat you and you go away.
These are a lot of things that I never even thought of until today. I thought it was just a burn, like wham bam, you're done. That's a lot of aftercare.
This is the one thing I learned today. So this
Yeah,
is my one
that's
learned.
it. That's it. That's the
1%,
only
yeah.
thing you learned. That's funny.
I love sharing that because I find it fascinating.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Quite frankly, but
Kind of like how your foot is also the length of your forearm.
Yes, I've never tested that.
No.
I have. It is. It definitely is. Your foot is the same length as your forearm, for sure. So I do want to talk, there are a couple different ways that people can make donations to the Shriner Center. Because we want to talk about the Shriner Center, and we want more people to understand what the Shrine does. We want other people to help the children at the Shriner Center and help the Shriner Center. But we also want to make sure that the Shriner Center can keep going.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I know there are probably a couple different ways that they can make donations.
Oh yeah, there are several. And just to kind of give you an idea, even though a lot of people see the national commercials and those go to the home office, then the home office distributes the money to each hospital. But we each individually have to raise a certain amount. For us, it's about 3.5 million
Okay.
that our people have to raise just for Cincinnati.
That's crazy.
So you can donate you can pretty much donate any way you want. You can donate online on our website. It's shrinershospitalcincinnati.org if you'd like to go online.
Now, guys, we are going to be posting in the comments a link to the Shriners Hospital in Cincinnati. I also want to link a comment to your Facebook page as well, because you
Facebook
guys
is
have your own
another great way.
Facebook page
Yes.
too.
And if you ever want to smile, that's the best place to go, because we always have some amazing, cute kids that are just having a good time. Some superheroes came in and they were amazing. And this one little boy was like, "This is the best day ever!" and like jumps in Spider-Man's arms. I mean, those are the things like I walk away smiling, because of my job, because
Yeah.
I know once I'm seeing the kids, they're getting better and they're getting back to being kids, which is the whole point.
That's awesome. I know that you guys have in Pittsburgh. They have ladies that make stuff for the beds and stuff, and I'm sure you guys have people making donations here. But the number one way would be online, then, to make donations.
Yeah,
It's the
if you're
easiest.
looking for something monetary, if you want to do a third party, a lot of people will do, like, if you're going to do a poker run or in any kind of thing where you're raising money anywhere in the country, it's a third party fundraiser, and then you just send us some money and you call our development department and they'll tell you exactly what to do. We also take all kinds of gifts, especially around Christmas time. People get very, very generous, and every child that's here, if they have a birthday, they have a birthday party. If there's some kind of, they have an anniversary of leaving the hospital, if they've been here for any length of time. We do Christmas, obviously.
That's some really cool stuff that they don't do at any other children's hospital that I've
Oh, really?
been to. Like,
I
I've
didn't know
never
that.
seen
That's just
birthday
our-
parties. Like, that's awesome that
Yeah,
you
our
guys.
child life. They try to make it as normal as possible, and the same for the siblings. If you have siblings that are here, especially like at Christmas time, they'll have presents for the whole family. I
That's
mean,
amazing.
Are
and
there any
Santa.
preferred gifts?
There is something online on the website that tells some things that we always need, but because we're in a little bit different scenario than the orthopedic hospitals, if there is a house fire and they come here, they're coming here with nothing, so we will provide their clothes, we provide everything. We have 18 rooms in the hospital that are hotel rooms that families stay at.
Wow.
We get people from 24, 26 different states. We also have some from, like right now we have someone from Honduras and Colombia. They just don't have the resources there, and so we're working with some groups when younger children need to have some pretty severe plastic surgery due to burns.
There's so much more that we don't
Yeah.
even know, since we're
Some
new
of this
with
stuff
the
is news to
Roadrunners,
me
yeah.
too, as
Yeah.
we're sitting here talking.
We're learning,
It's a
everybody.
lot bigger. It's huge. I mean, it's amazing what you guys are doing here for people. I mean, we're Shriners. We don't even completely understand it. I mean, there's so much that you guys are doing. It's amazing what you guys are doing for kids here. So we applaud you.
It's not me that's
definitely.
doing it though, so I always say the medical staff is unreal. I don't know how they do what they do, but they're amazing, and they've been here. Like, you either stay a year or you stay for 25 years. I mean, there's not a lot in between. And
amazing.
you were asking about ladies that make things and whatnot. We have some amazing volunteers. I mean, we have probably 120 volunteers. Now, some of them are similar to you guys, where they're called hospital hosts with the local temple, and they drive to and from the airport and to and from CVS, or they'll go pick up kids and bring them here. They don't go beyond Lexington, though, so they don't go distances. And then you've got volunteers that make stuff all the time, and sewing ladies that make crafts and do various things around the hospital, including like just delivering mail in the hospital. So
That's really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Galen, what other questions do you have?
I don't have a whole lot of questions. I mean, I'm learning a lot today. I think that we'll put links for anybody that does want to donate on side. I know I personally, the way that I like to donate is not just money, but also time. That's why I joined the Roadrunners and the Masons and things like that. So Even if you don't want to donate, I would encourage you to maybe reach out and see how you could help
Yeah.
with the volunteer work if you don't want to be a roadrunner.
If you're interested in joining the Masons and becoming a roadrunner like we are, or even helping out at the Shriner Center, you can always message us on Facebook or something like that, and we can put you in contact or help you out with that, you know.
I would say also, one of the big things really that would help is to spread the word. People, I mean, even in Cincinnati don't realize we do anything beyond burn care. And we are advertising only, you know, nationally, so we don't have the kind of funds that some of the big hospitals have. So even just spreading the word on Facebook, sharing any of the stories that you see that you like is one of the best things you can do for us.
So share this video is what she's saying.
Okay,
Right? Yeah.
get the plug in there.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you personally that I've met 4 different children that are just amazing at what they have come through
Oh, yeah,
and
they
the
are.
struggles that they've had. So, I mean, that's why I'm all in with, you know, trying to raise money for you guys as well.
They're just
Yeah.
so resilient, and I mean, to hear a mother talk about the change in their kid is just amazing. I mean,
I couldn't imagine being a child to go through some of the stuff that the children here have gone through. That's
That's
traumatic,
yeah.
and
that's why the doctors and the nurses do what they do, because they
Yeah.
say kids are so resilient and they will overcome if you give them the right tools.
Happy and hopeful.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Michaela, for talking to us and taking the time out of your day. I know you guys are very busy. So we're gonna post a link to you guys' Facebook page in the comments. We're gonna post some links for you guys if you want to make a donation. Also, if you guys are just interested in donating your time and want to find out more about that, you can always send us a message and them a message as well.
Yeah, I would say even for Erie, I mean, if you're closer to one of the hospitals, there's 22 of us, so.
Yeah. And I mean, this morning, Galen and I got up at 5 o'clock. We drove and got the van at we got up at 4. It was 4 o'clock. It's a long day. We got up at 4 and we drove to the Shriner Center and picked up the van and drove and picked up the patient and then drove to Cincinnati this morning. We'll wait for them to have their appointment and then we'll drive them back to their home, drive the van back to the center, and then we'll go back to our house. And that's how we contribute, right?
They wouldn't make it here otherwise.
No, and I like it because it's so easy to write a check out, but still do it, but it's also good to help, you know?
Donating time.
I like taking the day.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. Plus, I think we'll stop for dinner on the way home.
Yeah. So, thank you guys for watching. I know we had 6 viewers. Please, if you guys have any questions, post them in the comments below. We'll respond. And guys, have a great week.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you guys,
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
All right. Have a good day, guys.